Does this game say more about the San Francisco 49ers or the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I think it says, like you said before we started, I'm with you 100%. It says way more about the Jaguars, unfortunately, for our narratives than it does for the 49ers. Because we already knew, like, Niners get healthy again. We know what the Niners are. Like, there's never a doubt about the Niners. Really, it was just health and Purdy's little, like, he had to come back down to earth for a little bit. We had to realize that. And it's like, all right, but we know what the Niners are. Like, that's never been in question. But with the Jaguars, kind of is. It was kind of like we still want to see more from this offense. Defense has good weeks, but then they're bound to every once in a while have that week where they're going to like fall apart, and because they can't hold this offense forever that has been underperforming. That's really where we get into the problems. Like Trevor Lawrence, not even, I don't want to use like the word regression yet because the season isn't over.
Right.
Because last year was kind of weird too, where he didn't really start turning it up until the end of the season.
Halfway, yeah.
But so I guess the narrative is just like, is that T-Law's MO? Does he not like it's like we're gonna have to keep our eye on this narrative. Regardless of how you want to slice it, you're gonna have to be saying to yourself, if you're a Jags fan, like, I'm not comfortable with how slow we've been starting, how slow it takes us to get into a groove. And I want to see T-Law consistently showing me he's the guy. Like, you don't want a franchise QB that's only showing you he's the guy half the year. And that's the point that's at this point, I'm saying that a best case scenario for this year, because if that was the case and he ends up being that guy and he ends up coming back and showing us that he still is the same T-Law that he was last year, and which I still do believe, but he still's got to do that. Like, if he doesn't do that and the rest of the year goes the way it's been now, we look at these numbers at the end of the year, some serious questions are going to start coming into place.
I mean, also, like, Calvin Ridley, what's going on with him? It's like some weeks he's great, some weeks he's horrible. Like, I mean, they have Christian Kirk who can pick it up, but when you get Ridley, you expect him to be that dominant number one, and he just hasn't been.
I think if you're going to call a spade, unfortunately, on this one, I do think people, I'm going to say I'm people in this one. I'm officially now people, because I was someone, I think people underestimate how much a year away removed from being in the job environment. Like, I think that, it's like we say to ourselves as the fan, it's like, no, dude, it's just get back out there. Like, it's like when you take yourself out learning the playbook every day and like all the stuff that goes into everything related to being a pro football player, and you get out of that mode, and you got to get back into that mode. I think maybe I underestimated, maybe we as a whole, as an NFL whole populace, underestimated just a little bit, like how tough it is to get back to that same mode you were in, and with health. Like, you never know what he could have, maybe just got older, had a couple, like, these injuries in the past start adding up. Like, it is what it is. Like, I think he got a little older, a little time away from the game. He's still a talented receiver, but like that inconsistency, I think, stems what else could it stem from?
Right. Well, the Jags defense sucked. Only 2 sacks, let up 34 points. But it's almost like everybody on the Niners had a good day, like a very good day.
Except CMC, which we had to bring this up. Fallen 1 game short. He had a good day still, but fallen 1 game short of the tie on that touchdown record. Unfortunate.
It's crazy that fan. CMC almost had like 150 yards from scrimmage, but like when he doesn't score, like he just doesn't get brought up.
That's why I couldn't say he had a bad day. I can't say he had a bad day. He's still CMC. Like, that man he's still running crazy, but it's just without touchdown. And then I think I want to give a shout out to Debo. Hey, look, you got 7 carries, 69 yards, a touchdown. That's a great day. Like, getting yourself back into the mix. You can't ask for much more. Like, we wanted to get, if you're a Niners fan, you want to get Debo back in, see him take reps, but not hurting.
Seven total between carries and receptions.
Yeah. So you kind of mix him in. Exactly. You kind of give him opportunities to get involved different ways, get back into the flow. If you're Shanny, if you're Debo, you got to respect that from Shanny, not throwing you back out into that fire, getting you acclimated back into things.
Kittle went crazy today.
So this was, I'm going to make sure I'm exactly right about this. What was only his, back-to-back weeks with 100+ yards. Let me just fact check myself real quick, because I don't want to say the wrong thing on it. But he's only had 2 games this year above 100 yards, which was the last 2. So, maybe getting in that groove just at the right time. Doesn't matter at the beginning of the year, it's how you end it. If you're a Niners fan, earlier was the best, but if you can keep this going now consistently, this is the time to get it going. Like, the early part of the year was really good, but now, like, this is really time to get gelling. So,
well, also, just to end it, 5 sacks, Chase Young on the D line now, like, they could be scary. The 49ers already are horrifying. But with Chase Young and getting in a groove, like their defensive line could be really like nightmarish for whoever they play.
Adding Chase was the move that put them in line to be able to compete with the Eagles. Not that they weren't already able to, but like we saw it last year. It's like the Eagles really are that team out the NFC. But you had a guy like Chase, get a few bounces to go win the championship game, sack fumble or something. Hey, this was the move you got to make, or you had to make if you're the Niners.